Hello and welcome back to Visit Fylde Coast. It's a beautiful, gloriously clear but very cold day in January 2025. How did we get to 2025? And as you might have guessed by the building which is standing right at the side of me here, we're going to have a walk round the police station and the courts, and we're going to have a look and see what's happening with the demolition. I've got all the nitty-gritty bits and bobs and notes from the last practically 100 years of what's happened. So we're going to record it and we're going to take a look before anything happens. So before we set off, before we get any further, make sure that you've subscribed, make sure that you've got all of your notifications enabled, and don't forget to give this video a like as well. And sign up, of course, for that Visit Fylde Coast email newsletter, which you can get at visitfyldecoast.info/newsletter. Right, away we go. Before we set off, this is what passes in these parts for snow. This is not melted yet because it's at the back of the fence and it's not being in the sun, but as you can see, most of the rest of it has gone. This is the Central Surface Car Park. That is the brand new multi-storey car park. That just down there is the courts. This is the police station. This is the back of the Sea Life building. And of course that is the tower. So Blackpool Central Railway Station used to stand in this kind of spot. So this area here is where all of the lines used to come in. And the actual station itself was where Coral Island building is now. And by its peak in 1911, Central Station was the busiest railway station in the world. And there are photographs of it showing huge shunting lines and sort of lines for excursion trains to park up for the day and wait for their holidaymakers to come back for their trip home. And it was closed in 1964. It was one of the beaching cuts things. And it's been a development site ever since. And as you can see, even on a very cold day in January, it's still a popular car park. Central Car Park is actually very good. It's not so far off what you would call secure. So it's got camera gated access, and it's quite reasonably priced as well if you prefer a multi-storey. And apparently there were two failed initiatives to move the central station, which was here, into different sites at the Chapel Street area, which is kind of where that pylon thing is there. And both of them failed. The 1938 attempt was halted by the war, and then the 1956 attempt was kiboshed as well. So it just stood empty for years and years and years. I vaguely remember there being a sort of a fun fair, one of those really big multi-lane slides that you kind of bump your way down as a kid. So that would have been in the early 1970s. By the late 1990s, there was talk of a super casino. Blackpool was one of the towns that put in a bid. This is the site of the old Bonny Street Market. I'm walking carefully because I really don't want to end up flat on my backside. So this closed in, when was it? It's a few years ago. Closed at the end of 2022. Goodness me. So it's 2 years ago. 2 years. Blackpool was one of the towns that put a bid in for the new super casino. There's a couple of men look up there. By January 2005, Hilton Hotel had worked up a quite ambitious plan for a £600 million development. And in 2006, Blackpool and the Fylde College even launched a regional gaming academy. But in 2007, the bid was lost to Manchester, and then the whole lot got shelved by 2008. This here, this this wall here is the old original wall from the old original railway sidings. And when you look at it, you can see that they're really old bricks. That's amazing. T-Boy sees ever wanting one. Look at these capping stones. You can see how old they are. And these down here, look. Wow, we do like an old brick. So that's the Bonny Street Market end of it. It's a shame this piece of fence is stuck in the middle of the gangway, or I could have gone straight through the middle, couldn't I? So that bit down there is Chapel Street car park. I think we'll go for a walk down here, shall we? That's me walking into it. This is New Bonny Street. This. And the back of the Sea Life Centre. So this is all going to be the site that's cleared to make way for a new development. There you go. That's Chapel Street car park, which is now closed off, so that I presume when they start doing the demolition, they'll not land any bits of old concrete onto the top of any cars. And when you look at it, you can see how old all this old area is. I've parked here more than once. Oh, that sun's lovely. So this is the old Chapel Street car park. There's the old machines. Look, they've closed all the gate off to traffic. Bonny Street Market, as was. So by 2009, plans had been revealed for an indoor snow dome on the site of Central Station. It was dubbed Xanadu, and it included a conference and an exhibition centre. And then, of course, the new conference and exhibition centre is opened at the Winter Gardens. It's a big site, isn't it? Just even this little bit down here. It's a big area. Fast forward then to November 2017, and the leader of Blackpool Council and the director of place at the council went to a conference in Orlando, and there they met and started negotiating with the company that was going to do the current redevelopment of the site. And in December 2018, which seems like a lifetime ago now, I actually went to the launch event of what was going to be the £300 million Chariot of the Gods plan. Complete with a flying theatre, and got pipped to the post with that one as well. So Nickel was the property development company, and they agreed terms and signed up with the council in September 2019. So up to this point, everything's going along swimmingly. So this Nickel company is backed by Alan Murphy, and he made his money from recycling waste paper into toilet roll and tissue paper rolls. So you see, there is money in rubbish. And then everything started to sort of progress. So obviously you can't build an entertainment centre on a car park unless you've got somewhere for all of the cars to park. So the first job was the multi-storey, which we are looking straight at now, which, to be fair, is an asset to Blackpool. It's definitely a useful addition. So the 1,306 space car park opened last year in spring 2024, And the Heritage Quarter was going to come next. The Heritage Quarter being the transformation of all these old red brick buildings on Central Drive into a beautiful set of restored and refurbished pub, hotel, apartments, all that kind of stuff, including the joke shop. So the joke shop is now on the corner of Waterloo Road down at South Shore, and this is all closed until it looks strange with snow. It snowed quite sharp the other day, and we've had another little bit this morning, as you can see. Lots of herb wetter, and it's so cold. It's not dissolved. So, like I said, this is just about a secure car park. It's actually very good. I've used it a few times. Where that chap stood there, that is the side door, and there's another one round at the other side. So you need your car registration number to get in, and you can't get your car out unless it recognises your number. So this is the old joke shop at Central Drive. It's no joke. And these are the old red brick buildings. This must have been an absolutely beautiful building in its heyday. What a mess. Just look at the state of that. What a shame. So this was going to be an apart hotel. And the pub on the corner of Chapel Street, was going to be completely refurbished and made into a new nice pub and restaurant and whatnot. And this is Central Drive. So that's the new car park. Bonny Street Market closed at the end of 2022. There's a new police HQ open down at Clifton Road at Martin. So they're all relocated. And there's a new courts building being built at Devonshire Road. So that takes care of the courts. But then in late 2024, Nickel went into administration. So everything was sort of trundling along fairly smoothly, and then bang, everything went wrong. Leaving Blackpool Council with a big site and some big derelict buildings. So now the council are looking for a new developer, but the demolition is going ahead. So this is obviously going to be the works compound, which they are mobilising, as they say in the trade. So they're obviously setting up their cabins and their base for the workmen here. And then all this lot's coming down and being watched by a security guard. And then all this lot's coming down. DSM Demolition were appointed in late 2024. The council are keeping the $4.5 million that they got from the land agreement with Nickel, and they've got an option to acquire the car park for a nominal sum in the future. So that means that the vast majority of the land on this site is owned by Blackpool Council, and it's available to develop. So all we need now is a developer with big ideas and deep pockets. That's all that's needed. So anyway, I've been having a route round on Tinterweb, and according to Place Northwest, which is a a property and commercial publication. Nickel sank owing £40 million. And it sounds like the thing that tipped them over the edge was the car park. Because from what I can gather, it looks as if Ballast Needham, the company that built the car park, have not been paid the amount of money that they should have been paid by Nickel for building it. So Ballast Needham have taken Nickel to court and won a £4.6 million claim against them. And in total, the builders, Ballast Needham, are owed £7 million by Nickel. And it sounds as if that was the final straw for him, and that's what's pushed him under. Which is a shame. Well, they should have paid the bills. They shouldn't have committed to doing jobs that they couldn't afford to pay. We've had that done to us, and it's not funny. Anyway, and that's beside the point. So that leaves a big site with 2 eyesores soon to disappear, and an ambitious search for somebody new to come and redevelop it all. So watch this space. Obviously something's going to start happening soon. It usually takes them 2 or 3 weeks to set a compound up. I know from working with Belfast Beatty that you don't just wave a wand and have a full set of site offices set up overnight. So I reckon it's going to be a few weeks before they actually start swinging any wrecking balls. But you can rest assured that we will be back, as the great man said. And hopefully it won't be quite so cold, because it's enough to paralyse you. In fact, I think my face is starting to freeze. So, I hope you've enjoyed that. Don't forget, make sure that you've done all the subscribing stuff and that you've given this video a like and you've signed up for your newsletter. And we will keep you posted. Until next time, see you later. Bye for now.